Say your income is $3,829 a month, but you're barely squeaking by because you have a mortgage, you have, out-of-pocket expenses, and it comes to almost what you're making monthly. If you take that extra $3,000 and turn it over to Medicaid, you can't afford to pay your living expenses. So this was a huge problem up till a couple of years ago when Valerie Bogart, who's an attorney who specializes in class action suits against government programs, she stepped up to the plate and she put in a class action suit. And it was actually a very simple suit. It was a fellow who was younger, he was in his 50s, and she became aware that he had a situation that he was disabled now, and he lived in Manhattan, and his rent alone was $1,500 a month, and this poor young guy was being forced to go to a nursing home because he couldn't afford to pay his bills if he followed the Medicaid guidelines. Well, she couldn't get Medicaid to change the guidelines, but what she did is she forced them to create a new program, and it's called a Special Needs Pool Trust, and it's a special program just to protect people in the situation we just described. Someone whose income is higher than the Medicaid level, and if they take that income and turn it over to Medicaid, they're going to be forced into a nursing home. So what they do now is they take that amount of money and they put it into a Special Needs Pool Trust, which is a trust that I create in my practice. And to fund it initially, you give them a month's security and you give them the first month. And thereafter, you send that every single month to this special trust. There are a lot of different trusts out there. It's a lot of not-for-profits are opening them and managing them and so forth. I tend to use the New York State ARC Trust, which is the original trust that Valerie Bogart created initially. It's run well. They've been running trusts throughout the New York State for many years for disabled younger people whose parents wanted to leave them money and didn't want them to lose their benefits. So it's the same program that runs this. This particular trust only pays non-medical bills, which is great. So you give them your money. There is a management fee, which is about 10% of what you fund it with. But instead of taking $3,000 and losing it to Medicaid, you take $3,000, give it to the trust. They may charge a $300 a month fee, but the other $2,700 is still available to pay your household expenses and keep you home. This is a wonderful thing.